Hey, you. This is a pick a pile for your next chapter. It was one of my favorites that I've done because it got so deep. It was beautiful to say the least. Every single pile receives beautiful messages. So pause it and choose the one that you feel embedded to, the one you feel like you can live inside of, the one that you cannot stop looking at or feeling. All right, and I'll meet you there. Click below to check out the timestamps and click your timestamp. Hi, my beautiful pile number one. These are pre-shuffled, only because there's so much that I do have to do today. So I pre-shuffled them last night because I knew that I would begin them today. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to begin. First and foremost, before we begin, go like and subscribe as well as comment your pile. It's just beautiful when it inspires me even more. It makes me want to do them more when you guys connect so much to them. But so for pile number one, sticker number one, this is beautiful. It's a cute little bouquet, or it's not even a bouquet. It's like planted by said person, kind of like gardening. This reminds me of the fact that you have been through a lot. So this chapter in your life, you have been through quite some things. Channeling without even the cards, like this pile seems to be in some sort of solitude, spending a lot of time with themselves or a lot of time in reflection. Even if you are around people, there's like a lot of inner work that's being done for pile number one. You could even be going to therapy. You could be journaling. It's like you may be a bit incognito. You may be a bit quiet at the moment. But there was grief or there was pain that has shifted your perception. It has provided you with not only clarity about said situations, but clarity about yourself, about who you are, about what you're meant to be, about who you're meant to be. You know, I know as cliche as it may sound, when we go through painful experiences, we are connected on a different level to divine. For example, when you're a child and you fall in the street and you scrape your knee, you're gonna go running to your mom or you're going running to your father. And to be honest, that's the same way. Where it's like when you're in pain, when you feel disassociated or you go through a traumatic experience, there's a deep connection to divine, to universe, to your angels, to your ancestors, because of this deep pain, because you're yearning for some sort of support, and the support is here. So this chapter in your life, you realize that everything you went through up until now has really, it's really showed. It's almost as if like, wow, like life really showed out, like what life really showed out. And you're kind of in this chapter where as much as you grew and as much pain as you went through, growing pains, growing spurts, evolution, elevation, you're kind of looking at that old version of yourself and you're kind of like, well, thank God I'm not that person anymore. Not because you were a horrible person. Well, listen, I don't know who's watching. Maybe you were a horrible person, but that's not the point I'm trying to make here. It's not because you were a horrible person or because of this. It's simply because you no longer want to associate yourself with the past or situations that have pained you, or you don't want to go through the things you went through again. This could be financially, this could be emotionally, this could be spiritual, this could be physical, this could be in any way, shape, or form. But you don't want to go back to an old story. That old story is linked to grief, and you're healing through that grief. You're leaving that old life behind. For sure. You are kind of in that gray area where you're trying to figure out what to do next. Your intuition has you a bit wobbly because you know that you're supposed to start moving now. Like things are supposed to start moving now. But decisions are required of you. It is very difficult sometimes to separate the past from the present because the past is always a part of our memory bank. Like it doesn't, things don't just go away because we want them to. things live within us because we experience them. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. Your intuition is very on point during this time. You're detached emotionally, not in a sense where like you're emotionally unavailable, but more so like you're not thinking emotionally anymore. It feels like in the past you thought emotionally, you thought with your heart on your sleeve. You bent it over backwards for people. Angel number 555 is 5:55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And like you've learned, you've grown so much, like you see things for what they are now. And your intuition has always been on point, but now you know how to really follow it. Now you know how to maneuver it. So there is no shame in the things we go through. It's all a part of our calling. All right. And what you need to focus on at this moment, we have Master Alchemist. So you are a Master Alchemist, and there's no doubt about it. Why? Because you literally I'm getting the urge to cry. So you may have been crying, you may have cried a lot, you may be in therapy, etc. But the fact that you went through all of this grief in order to have that character development, in order for you to have that experience under your belt, and now you're moving forward. But that's alchemy, the ability for you to kind of take the trauma, take the PTSD, take the experiences and kind of cook them up, and transform them into movement, transform them into satisfaction, like taking something bad and making something out of it, turning it into prosperity in some way, shape, or form. For example, I'm not sure if you are or are not a fan. It does not matter. Kim Kardashian, an SEX tape showed out. Okay. She took that and she used it to her advantage. Like that. It's like that. You could be going through a divorce and it pains you so much, but you're taking that energy and you're using it as motivation. Maybe you're getting back in the gym. Maybe you're just going on trips. Like there's something here where you are that master alchemist. That is what you're doing at this moment. You're transforming your life after a painful time, after a lot of growth that had to occur in your life. All right, any extra messages? We have here authority. We have here wisdom. And we have here discontent and boredom. We have 4, 4, and 5. Okay, and that makes so much sense because it's sometimes we don't realize, like, I'm going to use myself as an example, which I don't normally do, but we have to connect, right? I do horoscopes. I am an astronomer. And that's kind of always what I've wanted to do. In the sense of when I first started like my spiritual journey as an adult, I dived right into it. It's not like, oh, I wanted to be an astronomer all my life. It just happened. But that's what I chose to do. That's what I wanted to do. So I did it. And now it's been 5 years since I do astronomy, and I post these astrological signs, but now I'm doing pick-a piles. And in a previous time, pick-a piles called my attention for sure, but it wasn't my priority. So it's like you kind of have to go according to your ascension, according to how much you're growing vibrationally, spiritually. Again, vibrations, like there's more in a sense. Like you may have thought that you wanted something or that you wanted a specific life, and then you got there and you were like, wait, I love this, I do. Or you may have hated it. Either way, it led you to be like, wait, but like I'm kind of over that. Like I want to shift. Like there's something more. I want something more. So there's this change for a lot of you where it's like you are closing out a chapter. Something is timing out. There's a cycle ending. There are cycles ending. There are changes coming in every area of your life. Things are changing because you want something different. You're looking to have something different. We have your authority. tests, so many tests that you've lived through the past few months, the past few years. And it feels like at some point you almost either gave up or you were like, wait, like, am I doomed? Like, what's up? But that's not true. You were just being tested. And I know it sounds cliche, or like, oh yeah, test, someone's testing you, you're being tested. But it's, you won't go into the next level if you don't pass the test. So the fact that this is a circle, that's a cycle, right? You've passed something. So you're going into an ascended area. You've ascended. This is a wave of ascension because of the fact that you've passed certain tests. What does that mean? What do I mean when I say you passed certain tests? There have been situations in your life that you've been through that have been painful, and you passed the test because something happened afterwards that came into test if you really learned, and you passed it. You have learned. You are ascended because of your wisdom. This could also be linked to your career as well as job. You've learned so much. You have so much under your belt. You are linked to an authority or administrative position or figure, and you're under evaluation, or you've been under evaluation, but you've gotten through it. This pile, like, yeah, there were tests and a period of ascension and trauma and like mistakes and all of that, but you're not there anymore. You're kind of on your way to that next chapter where it's like, okay, you've learned, you have everything under your belt, you're graduating onto a next level. So just keep that in mind. All of the wisdom that you've learned has happened through your experiences, and because of that, it has caused you to want more. It's almost like you've outgrown something. You've outgrown certain experiences, and it's because you've learned what you've needed to learn. All right? So just keep that in mind. We have here oneness. You observe the light and dark of duality as a way to see your creations manifest into the physical. The great light of love is different to the light of duality. It is the merging of all opposites into one. Become clear with this, otherwise you'll be chasing only light, happy and nice, denying the dark, sad and awful, or vice versa. Opposites exist when we focus on one side. You know what you want, what you do want, when you know what you don't want. Duality exists in this plane to have us ask different questions of life and create physical manifestations from the energy that flows from those questions. This is how you create your life. All is well, for the reason of oneness will never judge you. It just shines upon you always. It is us who don't always feel its presence when we're focused on a false perception of reality. Wow. Okay. This is a thing. You have been a good sport. It is very clear that you've lived through situations you never want to live through again. You've experienced things you will never want to experience again. And because of that, pile one, you know what you do want because you know what you don't want. You have this oneness, this connection to divine, where it's like, I know I don't want that again. I know what life I don't want. I know what situation I don't want. But that's because of your experience. That's because of the things that you've been through, the dark, and stay connected to who you once were, in the sense of like doing it for that person and guiding you with experience and wisdom, but don't stay connected to the past version of your life physically or spiritually or emotionally, because there's more. You can be connected to something without being attached to it. So just keep that in mind. We have here meditation. So you've had to pray about this. You've had to meditate. You could even suffer from anxiety or just being overstimulated along those lines. But for this pile, you've gotten through some sort of war, honestly, and you're now elevating. You've already elevated, but you're going even further up. What is required of you during this time? We have the King of Swords, tunnel vision, reflection, Tunnel vision, reflection, and homework. Tunnel vision, keep your eye on the prize, on what you do want. You're going to be reflecting a lot. You're going to be thinking a lot. You're going to be spending a lot of time alone. Again, maybe even venting, maybe journaling or in therapy or doing something that really like nourishes your soul and what you need, as well as, just being on point. Being on point for this pile, like staying on your P's and Q's, like dotting your I's and crossing your T's, just making sure that you're on top of things. You're not allowing your emotions, you're not allowing temporary things or distractions get in the way of what you know that you're going towards. Like, this can't all be for nothing. We also have here the world. So what is required of you? We have the world movement. Continue moving, continue elevating. Don't stop. Don't stop for anything, because you know you're not supposed to. This is a period in your time where it's like hit after hit after hit. On a positive note, elevation after elevation after elevation, win after win after win. You're entering that time of winning, of entering just a winning season. You may have already started that, but we have here just making sure you're standing on your decisions and you're getting the ball rolling. So what is required of you during this time is continue moving, continue elevating, continue healing, continue focusing on yourself. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. I'm going to go into the extended version. You can like and subscribe. The extended version is below for a small fee. It will speak about what's coming in for you, the blessings that are coming. I am going to include one here, so stick around for another minute or so, because I do want to include here what is coming for my lovely, lovely pile number ones. All right, so let's use a tarot deck to see what is coming. Again, it's a very, very small fee. So the link is down below and you can click it. But let's see for pile number one, what is coming for pile number ones who may be watching, who are listening at this moment. What changes are coming? Some of you are moving. Some of you are moving. The fact that they have a globe here in the hand, there is travel as well that is involved, that's coming in for you. This travel or this move, this relocation, because this has to do with geography as well as travel or relocation, is something that heightens your success. There's opportunity in it. What else is coming? We have here the moon. So a lot of reflection, again, a lot of realizations. In this Two of Wands with the moon, you are also going to be meeting new people. You're also going to be seeing new things, seeing new places. Again, there's a lot of travel here, but there's also like really quick realizations. So I'm going to meet you at the extended version. Click the link below for a very small fee. If not, I'll see you later, my babies. Love you so much. Beautiful pile number two. I hope that you are doing well, my love. Thank you so much for stopping by and for trusting in me. This is what your current chapter looks like, what you're currently feeling, what you're going through, what you need to know, as well as what is coming. So I'm super, super excited for this. I did pre-shuffle the cards last night because I knew today would be a little bit chaotic, and it was. All right, but we're here. This is a beautiful, beautiful picture, by the way. I will say this just as a channeled message before anything. I will say that for this pile, it was very difficult to pull cards. And I don't mean like it was difficult because of this or because of that. The rest of the piles, like for pile number 1 and 3, the cards just came out. Like the energy was very... the messages were very straightforward for pile number 1 and 3. Whereas for your pile number 2, I haven't seen your cards yet, by the way. I don't look at them before I record. But when I was shuffling the decks that I was using, it almost felt like you were there, but you weren't there. And that may very well reflect where you currently are mentally, or even like mental health and stuff like that. it was very difficult to get through to you, or it could be very difficult to get through to you at the moment. Or just even the ocean, just there's this depth to the ocean that a lot of the times we overlook. And you have this depth, and you're in this deep time in your life, and you may not want to be seen. You may not want to be bothered at this moment in your life, in this chapter in your life, pile number 2. All right, so we're going to get into how you're feeling. I want to get into how you are currently feeling. You don't want to be around just anybody. You don't want to be around just anyone. You don't want to be around fake vibes. You don't want to be around family members that have wronged you. You don't feel like giving people the benefit of the doubt. You're very I wouldn't say cutthroat, because cutthroat has a negative attachment to it. But you're very direct. You're not playing around. You're not effing around. You're not playing any games, and you're not playing around with anyone. You're not effing around, and you're not allowing yourself to be around anyone that you don't feel safe around, or that, for some of you guys have children, that your children, feel safe around. You know what I'm saying? But we have here that vanity where it's you don't care. It just doesn't matter to you. You don't care. This could be for some of you where it's you don't care about the designer bags. You don't care about the people that are popular. You don't care to do this with that person. You don't care to go to that show. You don't care to do this. You don't care to dress like that. You don't care to be around that, or do this, or be a part of that, or eat this. There's something here that's changing. And it's because you're no longer trying to be someone you're not, or you're no longer trying to please anyone else. You could have been a people pleaser, or you could have been in a chapter in your life where it's you just did it all. You shut up for everyone, or you gave people the benefit of the doubt, or you were what your parents wanted you to be, or what your person wanted to be, what your spouse wanted you to be. And it's I really want to curse, because this pile gives that, will my video get kicked off if I curse? I don't care. It's one of those things, pile number 2, where it's I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I do not give a fuck. I'm doing me. I did what was best for everyone else. I did what everyone else wanted me to do. Almost you were responsible enough to do what you needed to do. You've shown up for everyone else, and you do not give a fuck anymore. Point blank, you're over it. There's a lot of things you're over, pile number 2. And I guess that's why you're so MIA, so incognito. You could be even a little bit stubborn right now. It's a little bit difficult to get through to you, or to talk to you, or to even enter your vortex. You are respecting your space. You're protecting your space. It's definitely a thing. And I said that when the recording was at 444. So it's very, very significant. I'm so sorry. I had to take a sip of my water because I haven't. All right. What else are you feeling? We have your wisdom. You could be someone who's sarcastic, or you could be someone who makes jokes out of your situations, really sarcastic jokes. I'm like that too, where it's I could be dying and I'm oh, whatever, set this up for my funeral. Super sarcastic, super funny. That usually does come from situations that you've had to laugh through, or that you've had to survive through as well. But that's neither here nor there. This is not what the reading is about. For a lot of you, pile number 2, you have this wisdom. You could have told some people off as well recently, or this chapter of your life involves you telling people what it is. Again, being very direct, telling people what's up, and not sugarcoating a thing. Why? Because you know better, because you know information, because you have the wisdom, because you've been here before. You get what I'm saying? And it's for a lot of you, it's is this what you wanted? Is this the version of me that you wanted? So just keep that in mind. For some of you guys, you may have the relationship with a parent is showing up for pile number 2. There's a relationship with a parent that is showing up for pile number 2, where whether you're close to them or don't speak to them at all, it is being highlighted during this chapter. It does show up in a way where there's not confusion, but there's definitely an elephant in the room. So just keep that in mind. I don't want to get too into the parents thing because so many people watch the videos. It will not resonate with everyone if we go deep dive into the parent thing. But what I will say is the following. Some of you may have lost a parent. That parent is there with you every moment of every second of the day. So just don't worry about that. For those of you who are having issues with a parent or are not speaking to a parent or don't have a parent in your life anymore or never met your parent, there's something here about like this needing your attention in the way that you need that. You know what I'm saying? It'll be different for everyone, but this specific thing needs your attention. So just keep that in mind. How are you feeling? We have here destiny. Yeah, so for a lot of you as well, I feel like there were certain restrictions put on you, maybe in your upbringing, your culture, your religion, by a parent, by siblings, or, by people in general. Maybe you went to private school, maybe you went to boarding school, maybe you were, in Catholic school or like Sunday school, or maybe you had to go on a mission because you're a Christian, or a mission, you're a Mormon, or whatever. And it's like something here was restricted. Maybe you come from a culture that arranged marriage is a thing, or maybe you are in my culture, maybe you're Dominican, maybe you're Haitian, and like I know in our cultures, our parents want us to be doctors and lawyers and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Not that there's something wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, but I feel like for this pile, society or family or culture has molded you into something that makes you feel restricted, and you've broken out of that mold. For a lot of you, I'm not going to say all of you or the majority, but there is a good handful of you that may have gone through some sort of abuse, that may have been groomed, that may have been targeted. You know what I'm saying? That was in the hands of exploitation. And it's like you're calling out that abuser, or you're calling out the fact that you were working below minimum wage off the books and being mistreated. You know what I'm saying? Like you're calling people out for what's up. You're calling people out for the evil-ish that they've done to you or to those around you. And I will say the following for this group. For those of you that are dealing with family that is older than you, that is a grandparent or a parent, I will say that, and this won't be for all of you, you'll know who you are. A handful of you, like, they wanted the best for you. They were doing their best. They did their best. They were trying to do their best. All right? That won't be for everyone, but for who it's for, you'll know that it's for you. There's like a lot of tough love here for pile number 2. There's a lot of tough love here. Maybe even growing up in cultures where it's like, oh, why is that okay? Like, why is that a thing? Like, for example, Jamaicans, Dominicans, Cubans, there's a lot of colorism in our cultures, and I don't care who's mad at me for saying it. I'm sure I'm missing different cultures, but those are just examples. Like, there's a lot of colorism. You can't tell me there isn't. There is. I'm not saying everyone is, but there is a lot of colorism. We were raised in that. So it's like those things. Like, you're breaking out of everything you knew. You're unlearning and you're relearning. You're unlearning how to handle situations, how to handle love, how to handle connections, how to handle things in a different perspective. You were brought up in a way that molded you into thinking a certain way, into acting a certain way. And there's nothing wrong with that. You had to be that person in order to figure out who you never were, or who you no longer want to be. And so for you, there's like a lot of self-development here, pile number 2, where it's like you're unlearning things. And that means you're relearning other things. You're creating your own traditions. You could be someone that is very unconventional, an unconventional family. Unconventional can fall along the lines of, teen pregnancy, dating out of your race, very unconventional things that some people wouldn't like. It's, you just don't care. And that's where you should be. You shouldn't care, because you are who you are. You are who you're meant to be. For this pile, it feels like you are a shark in a fish tank. Like, people have been trying to control you for so long, or you've been controlled for so long by, whether it be from people or circumstance or restrictions or your upbringing or your own perspective. But you're destined for really, really great things. This chapter of your life reminds you of who you are and where you're going. Wow. I didn't think this pile was gonna go this route. And then we have here release. Yeah, you're releasing the outside noise. You're releasing everything you thought that was, and you're going towards everything you know that is in your life. You're not allowing people to tell you what you should do, what you can't do, what is for you, what's not for you. You get what I'm saying? So you're releasing all the outside noise. For some of you guys, you're cutting off people that you've known the majority of your life. Right, let's get into some messages. We have here firm foundation as well as harmony. You're placing boundaries and you're not playing around with your boundaries. For example, and this is an example, this is not specific, but like firm boundaries, like don't show up at my house without being uninvited. Maybe that's something that I knew in my family, like we had 10 to 20 people in my house, like every weekend, or like, my mom would cook a whole pot of food and people are coming over to eat. And then, like, that's how I grew up. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't think that there's a problem with that. But now I'm an adult and I'm like, no, call me before you get here. That's mad annoying. You got what I'm saying? Again, that may not be your situation, but you know where I'm getting at. You know what I'm doing with that. So you're very, very focused on your home, on your privacy, on your energy, on protecting your energy, on protecting your privacy, on protecting your peace, on protecting your harmony. We have here harmony, and harmony reminds you of love, of relationships, of connections, being safe and feeling safe around certain people. This is what this chapter is, meeting people and being with people, even romantically, where it's like it's a different world, it's a different life, it's a different culture. You're learning new things. This pile for sure has been here before. Like, this isn't your first time here on earth. So know that. It feels like you've worked so hard to kind of build something up, to build yourself up, pile number 2. And you're not letting anyone mess with you anymore, or mess with your energy or your boundaries at all. You're all about the relationships, the connections that are real, that are deep, like not shallow, not aesthetically pleasing, not because it looks good or sounds good, not because you're trying to keep the peace. You're no longer doing that. You're not doing that at all. You're not interested in doing that. And I'll be the first to say I'm very proud of you, pile number 2. All right, what you need to focus on concerning yourself at this moment. We have here clear the energy blocks. The fact that this is blue and this is blue is just, it's special. But you're activating your higher chakras. You are growing closer to divine, to your spirituality. You are growing closer to a routine, the way that you do things, maybe your schedule. We have here clearing your energy blocks. So again, like getting rid of like all the gucky energies, the leeching energies, the energies that just you don't resonate with. You just don't resonate with it. Just because someone is your cousin doesn't mean that you need to be their bestie. Just because, someone is, you know what I'm saying? Like boundaries, this is allowing you to be in a state of just flowing and not having to have like that wall up, not having to have that protective shield, because you trust the people that are around you. Not only this, but there's this other level of consciousness where you're seeing things for what they are. We have here Voyager's journey, past life healing. What did I say? This is not your first time here. And then we go from 1 to 2, which is the craziest part. But you don't realize it, but you standing up for yourself, you standing up for your rights, just because something is legal or just because something has been in your routine or in your culture or in your life for a really long time doesn't mean that it's right. I want you to know that. Spiritual law is something completely different than what happens here on earth. So you're healing certain things. You're doing things differently. You're healing for your ancestors. You're healing based on your past life traumas, your traumas here on this life. You're healing in general. And it's healing generational trauma. You have a you are responsible to close out generational traumas in your bloodline, and you know that. All right, what else do you need to know? One, chosen one, the chosen one. You are going back to your childhood. You're going back to the things that have hurt you. You could even find yourself, now that you have like a different level of wisdom, going back to situations and being like, I did that, or I was a part of that, or what the heck was that, or I can't believe I used to do that. So it's like you're meeting the younger version of yourself, you're meeting the old version of yourself, and you're kind of accepting her or him or whatever you identify as, accepting them for who they are. But you're also like, now I'm looking at my situation differently because now I'm grown, or now I'm different, now I'm changing. But you are the chosen one. You are the person that's supposed to heal that. I mean, no pressure, right? No pressure. You're supposed to be healing that generational trauma, that depression, maybe even sexual abuse for some of you. You know, just those little things that are in us, that are passed down to our children or the generations to come if we don't handle that may have very well been passed down to you. You know what I'm saying? We have here the chosen one. So you need to know that you're chosen for something different. You're chosen from something different than what your family lineage has known. You're chosen for something extremely, extremely different. There's a detour here, but a detour that requires elevation. Some people ask all the time, well, why change it if it's not broken? Well, it may not be broken, but elevation is required. Why would I do things the same way my ancestors did? The point here is to evolve, right? Had our ancestors not evolved, we would still be hunting and gathering. You got what I'm saying? So you're chosen to make this major change. Wow. This is the longest pick a pile read I've ever done, but I'm not complaining. I'm saying that because it got very deep. All right, we're going to get into what is coming for pile number 2, the specifics of what is coming for pile number 2. There is going to be, the card fell. The cards fell. All right, for pile number 2, but the cards fell. And that's okay. We are back. I want to see for pile number 2 what is coming. I want to give specifics for my lovely pals number 2s. What is coming in this chapter of your life during this ascension. There will be a small fee down below. You can click the extended version. You can click the extended version to watch it on the specific of what's coming. So for some of you, there is a baby, there is pregnancy. If you've been looking for pregnancy, there is a baby, there is pregnancy. There's a lot of fertility, planting seeds, fertilizing the seeds as well. What is coming for my lovely pile number 2? We have here strength. I feel like you guys are going to be... there's a lot of like cool stuff like gym, therapy. We're going to continue in the extended version, my babes. I'll see you there. If you don't decide to go, I love you anyway. And I'll see you next time. And my beautiful pile number 3s. I hope that you're doing well, my love. Thank you so much for stopping by. I love this one. I'm on pile number 3. This is the last pile, but being that I just finished the first and second pile and their extended versions, I'm so eager to know about this pile because this pile is so beautiful. I don't know. It's just, there's something so ethereal about this. There's something so ominous, but like in a good way. There's something so mysterious about this pile, and the previous 2 piles have been insane, like crazy, like deep, insane, like the things that are coming, like the messages that we got. I did pre-shuffle the cards last night because I knew today would be a little bit hectic. I just wanted to get right into it. So we're going to begin with the pre-shuffled cards. My throat is feeling a little dry as soon as I started your pile. So you may have been quiet recently, or maybe you're working on something, not really sharing too much. Definitely might be quiet or not talking too much. All right, let's begin. If you haven't already, make sure that you like and subscribe. Make sure you like and subscribe. Babes, it's your turn. Love, it's your turn. It's your turn. Oh my God, I'm going to have a ball. I'm so excited. I want to yell. But I'm not going to. Pile number 3, your life is about to change. It's insane. It's actually insane how much your life is about to change. Well, I knew this pile had something. All right. Don't tell the other piles I said that. There's growth in every single pile. But when it has to do with this pile, I just want to say pile number 3. You could have been dealing with a health issue. You could have been dealing with like just a time in your life where it's like you had to wait your turn, or you went through an hiatus or a time where you kind of lost your spark, or you felt like you lost your spark. This chapter of your life is about growth and happiness. It's about opportunity and elevation. It's about a whole new different scenery. The fact that this is like so vibrant in color, and this is a sticker, you know what I'm saying? But it's so vibrant in color, it just reminds me like of the fact that there's so much vibrancy in your life. You are so vibrant. So this area of your life, this chapter of your life, there's this energy of like getting everything you wanted, getting everything you dreamed of, like just being so happy, being in your own world. Just there's so much bliss, dude. Like there's so much bliss. It's very, very beautiful to say the least. I want to talk about these 2 cards. We have here solitude. So you realized a long time ago that if you didn't do it, no one else would, or no one's going to come to save you kind of thing. Pile number 3, where you're kind of like, okay, no one's coming to save me. Like, I kind of just gotta, you feel what I'm saying? Like, I kind of just gotta move forward. Like, I gotta choose me. I gotta choose happiness. I gotta choose what's for me. And we have here that solitude. We have here that fact that like, you could be reading the Bible, reading the Quran. Maybe you're in the temple. Maybe you are meditating or praying every few hours. But there's this insane connection to divine that makes you feel confident. You have so much faith. You have so much faith. You can be I feel like you're extremely spiritual or extremely religious. And you know, no judgment zone here. That's where you're at, where your fortitude, your light, your divinity is like straight connected to source. You got what I'm saying? We have your base chakra. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So there's absolutely no doubt about it, because honestly, the base chakra it represents mobility. The base chakra is the first chakra. It's number 1. You got what I'm saying? It's number 1. It's connected to the source. You're connected to the source. The base chakra is basically the base of the spine. I believe it's like right above your buttocks, but it's your mobility. Think about it. If you got an epidural, or even if you get sedated or put to sleep with an epidural, one wrong move, you're paralyzed for life. Someone strikes you in your spine in the wrong way, in the wrong manner, paralyzed for life. Why do I say that? I say that because the base chakra represents mobility. It represents movement. It represents your movement. It represents your connection to earth. It represents your connection to divine. It represents grounding, stability, being grounded, being stable. But not only that, for this pile, there's like a lot of function, a lot of mobility, like knowing, waking up every morning and kind of just being inspired and like knowing that you can do all things. So just keep that in mind. There's like this, you're on one, like you're on one, pile number 3. And if I call you by another pile's number, I'm so sorry. It is what it is. Pile number 3, it's like everything is flowing. Everything is flowing. Like small waist, big butt, skin clear, drinking water, in the gym, nourishing your brain, stimulating your brain. There's just something so invigorating about what the chapter that you're in your life, where you're just grateful to be here. You're grateful to have your limbs or a limb. You're grateful to have your vision if you have it. You're grateful, like you're just grateful to be here. You're just so grateful to be here. And this gratitude, I always say this. Do you want to see blessings in your life? Be grateful. When you are grateful for the little things, for the sun shining, for the weather being nice, divine and universe will literally elevate you in ways you hadn't imagined, because you're grateful for the little things. And that's why the big things are coming in. How will you be provided for if you're not grateful for $1? How will you be given $1 million? And so that's where you're at. There's so much great gratitude. There's so much like serving others. Maybe for some of you that are in the religion of Christianity or Catholic, maybe serving the Lord, Mormonism as well. Like there's just this invigorating connection to divine. You get what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. All right. What you need to know at this moment, what you need to know. We have here soulmate. Okay. So although this is the soulmate card, it feels like you're loving on yourself. Whether you're in a relationship or not, whether you're single or in a relationship, you're just loving yourself. Loving on yourself, loving yourself. Clearing out core wounds. Like just loving what you see in the mirror, loving you. A lot of you guys are going to be at the gym. Again, I see clear skin for you. Maybe detoxing is coming up heavily. But like you feel aligned. There's so much alignment in pile number 3. Knowing who you are, demanding your respect. It's like you are who you think you are. You get what I'm saying? Like you are aligned. There's alignment here. There's like love here. There's love that feels healing. There's inner love that feels healing to you. We have here integration. All right. So multidimensional healing. And that reminds me of that love. So in your love life, there is so much healing happening because of new experiences. And some people, some people will say that time heals all. And some people say that that's not true, that it's not time that heals it. It's new experiences that mend your nervous system, new experiences that heal the old ones. And that's what it looks like. It looks like you being in connection to yourself, to earth, to divine, to God, to Allah, to whatever you believe in, to your ancestors. And because you have this beautiful connection, you're healing so many different areas of your life and parts of yourself. Not only that, but we have this beautiful card here of I am enough. So maybe you're someone that dealt with insecurities and you're kind of like, I don't care if I'm 2 pounds overweight right now. I don't care if, I have a roll on the side of my stomach. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just cooling, you're chill. Like you're chill. You remind me right now of like a 70s, like the 70s, like a flower child, beautiful child, like being in your zone, Drake voice. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just zen, you're chilling, and you know that you're enough. You're letting go of expectations because you know that everything is going to happen for you. Like there's just this faith here. There's this underlying faith, this faith that just takes you places. All right. I want to get into what is required of you at this moment. I really want to talk about what is currently required of you. for pile number 3, because it's like, wow, like, is your life perfect? Like, tell me your life is perfect without telling me your life is perfect. Just kidding. Your life may not be perfect, but it feels perfect. It feels perfect. It feels beautiful. I do want to add on to this as I'm putting these away. This solitude or this time with yourself, this connection to yourself, it's so immaculate that it makes you feel like you could do anything in this world. And you can. And you can. And you will. All right. Whew. So what is required of you? We have here death. Allow the things that are not meant to be in your life to go. So when we're changing, when we're elevating, when things are changing in our lives, there will be connections and situations that no longer resonate with us, that make us feel like, okay, like this no longer resonates with the version of myself that I'm becoming, or maybe you're now an acquaintance rather than a best friend, or there's just a lot of changes happening according to your change. Maybe you don't want to be around the people that complain all day anymore after your life has changed. Maybe you don't want to be around people that leech off of your energy anymore because they're not pouring into you. Like, there's changes that come in with this level of consciousness, which was a little bit similar to pile number 1 if you were interested in pile number 1. So just keep that in mind. We have here judgment. What is required of you? First of all, stay on your P's and Q's, protect your energy, but also use your better judgment to handle situations. Use judgment that comes from the version of yourself that you are now rather than the version of yourself that you were. It's very easy for us to sometimes get the two confused. What is required of you right now? Be patient with yourself as well as with others who are also maybe be affected by the change that you are attaining or that you are going after. All right. Pile number 3. I was about to say pile number 1. You see what I'm talking about? Pile number 3. I want to get into what's happening for you. I want to get into the details. So I'm going to use the tarot deck. And I'm going to see what is coming for you specifics for pile number 3. What is coming for pile number 3 specifically? I have a feeling finances for sure. We have here 9 of Wands. So a new job, a new position, new job, new position, new friendships, new groups, maybe new social groups. What's coming in for pile number 3? Getting to know new people for sure. We have here the Hanged Man. You're starting somewhere new. You could be starting somewhere new. There's somewhere new that you're starting. Again, a new job, new connection, new space. Pile number 3. What else? What is changing for pile number 3? You have your Ace of Swords. There's a victory here. Some of you are purchasing a home. Some of you are visiting a place you've always wanted to visit. There's a victory here, like your parents being proud or like your people being proud. We're going to take this into the extended version. I did want to give you guys some of them before I go full blown into it. I know we're going to have a ball in there. Click the link below at the extended version. It's a very, very small fee. And I'll see you there. May God bless you. For those of you who are not going, it is absolutely a pleasure. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Love you.